Hello, I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor Latricia Booker. And I'm popping in on you to tell you that they want your attention so bad. They want your attention so bad. So, Kingdom people, I'm going to lead this message with two scriptures. The first one is John chapter 5, verse 44, and it says, "How can you believe when you receive glory from one another, and you do not seek the glory that is from the one and only God?" And then we have 1 Thessalonians 2 and 6. And it says, "Nor did we seek glory from men, either from you or from others, even as apostles of Christ, we might have asserted our authority." And so, kingdom people, this is what the Holy Spirit has been speaking to me and showing me. That when people are seeking your attention, they're doing all these different things, playing mind games, making noise, and just doing abnormal things to get your attention. Just the fact that they want your attention so bad that they feel like they have to do all these circus tricks to get your attention. He said that what they're really seeking is your glory, because they see the glory of God on you, whether they understand it to be that or not. And many people do come to realize that that is God's glory, that you walk with God, that he's with you, that you are on a whole nother level spiritually, that you know something that they don't know, that you have something that they don't have. And they go through these extremes to get that glory from you. And see, here's the other part to that. When you give your attention to people, you're giving them your energy. Attention is energy. And so ultimately, that's what they want, your energy. And as I said, in this case, it's the glory of God, whether they understand that to be the case or not. They want that energy that they see from you, because they know that they lack. They know you have something they don't have, and they want to fill themselves up with you. Now, this can also just present itself as just you being someone that has something going on. You a go-getter. You about your business. You standing on business, and you mission minded. You get up every day. You have something to do because you're on purpose, on purpose, and in purpose. Again, you're mission minded. You know what you're doing. You know where you're going. You have goals. You have a routine. You have plans. You have things you have to get done on a daily basis. And so you get up and you get those things done every day. 9 times out of 10, you're very focused. You probably mind your business. You're not into all the gossip and the whatever is going on in your environment. You pretty much stay to yourself. You very well may be cordial. I'm sure you are. And, and you steer clear of anything that's not helpful, anything that's not good for you, anything, I'll go so far and say that's not of God. And again, it doesn't mean that you don't speak, you're not cordial, because you are. You speak, you're cordial, but you don't get into all the extra, because again, you're focused. You know that those things are not good for you. You don't want to have any parts of it. And people notice that about you. People notice that about you. And although they might be the opposite of that, they still want that glory. Now, this can also show up in ways where, I don't know if I should say show up in ways, but these people may also harbor jealousy and envy towards you. They may sometimes, even with the attention-seeking behaviors they're doing, maybe trying to get you to react in a negative manner, because again, they see that you are not about mess. And sometimes people want to pull you into mess because that's what they're about. And so that bothers a lot of people that are there. Many people are very carnal. They're very low, low vibing. They're of the world. They filled with all these demon and unclean spirits. And, you know, it's just kind of is what it is. You know, I was thinking about this, how, and I often do this, but I took it an extra mile this time. It was just like, and then God was kind of like inserting things, and we were just kind of in reflection. God and I were just reflecting with one another. You know, and I was just thinking about how people, you know, I observe these kind of behaviors. I'm very aware. I don't respond to them at all. At all. And that doesn't make people stop per se. They may take a break for a while, but here they go again because they want what they want. It's actually a Leviathan spirit many of times when this is happening. And, you know, Leviathan kind of wants power and control. And which is why they want that glory from you, because they want you to give them what they see in you. And, you know, I'm kind of steering away from what I was saying, but I'll get back to it. I remember it. But, you know, when you give them your attention, if they happen to get it, that's when they start trying to insert more power and control. The fact that they're going through extremes to get your attention is already an indication that they're trying to control you. And these people usually are very prideful, because the Leviathan spirit is very prideful. And what it does is it seeks out things and people and your energy, your attention in this case, for its own self-gratification. What it won't give to itself. What it won't give to itself, but it sees that you have it. You are a great resource for them to fulfill their self-gratifications. And so that's why it goes through so many extremes to get your attention. And again, you know, once they get your attention, it's all about trying to control and overpower you. But they first got to get you to pay attention to them. And again, why are they seeking your attention so hard? Why do they want your attention so bad? Because they want what you have. That glory they see on you, they want it for themselves. So going back to what I was initially saying, you know, I was thinking about how, you know, I'm very aware that, you know, people behave in a manner that they do for a reason, you know. And I'm very aware that they don't know what I know. You know, they don't have the understanding that I have. That is very well the case with you all, kingdom people. And, you know, the thing is this. If you were to tell them, if you were to share with them, certain people, these kind of people in particular that we're talking about, these attention seekers, usually when they're operating in these unclean spirits, and again, I'm just keep hearing the Leviathan spirit. I'm literally keeping getting that. I wasn't even thinking of that. This wasn't even a part of my message, but it's just keep coming up. But usually if you tell them, like if you share your what you know, give them some wisdom, share some knowledge with them to help them, because you see their condition, you see what they're doing, and you know what's missing, you know what's lacking, you know they don't know certain things. If you were to share these things with them, 9 times out of 10, these kind of people, they wouldn't use it to help themselves. Now, sometimes they do be wanting to know what you know. And it's usually not to help themselves with what you know that helps you, that makes you who you are. But they may try to use it, I want to say use it against you, but I think what I more so want to say was see how they can play on that. And so sometimes that can come across as them beginning to try to act like they're about what you about. They start probably mimicking if you communicate with them at all, or if they hear you communicating, if they, you know, they may try to, in other words, do what you do, talk your talk, to try to present themselves off as being like you. And that's a way to gain entry and interest into you and control and power in their mind. But anyway, I don't want to go too much into that, but I just wanted to point that out, that if you were to share, and I hesitated because I just heard, cast not your pearl upon the swine. And do not give what is holy to the dogs. And kingdom people, that's the whole kind of point that I'm making here, because these people with these spirits, these Leviathan spirits, we're just going to call it that because that's how what's being given to me at this time. These kind of people, it'll just be squabbled over. Your wisdom, your knowledge would not be put to good use with them. It would be, again, used to try to see how they can use that to play you, or to get their needs met by you, to get power and control over you, to get your glory, get your attention, keep your attention. And that's why they go through extremes to get it, because they want it so bad, because they want that glory that they see on you. And they want it to be seen in a certain way, to make themselves feel like they're important, because a lot of these people, they don't feel very good about themselves, and they're very prideful. That's another thing. I don't know if I said that already. The Leviathan spirit is very prideful, and so that's part of why they keep going and keep going and keep going, even when they see it's not working, even though things may be being disrupted in their life. And sometime at some point they start to know why. It's because of what they're doing towards you, because of who you are. You're God's anointed, you're God's elect, and they'll keep going and won't repent, even when they're being urged to. Whether they understand repentance or not, they know that what they're doing is not okay. God has a way of making people know, hey, that's not okay. But because they are prideful, that Leviathan spirit, they'll keep going. So anyhow, here's the thing. Like I was saying, thinking about it, I understand that they don't understand what we understand, kingdom people, and we're still learning, we're still growing. But many of us understand some things, we know some things, and we get why these people behave the way they do. We're learning. If you don't get it, you're learning it. We continuously learn it though. But many of us have a very good understanding of what's going on, and again, continuing to learn. And so, but for the most part, we know we're able to discern a demonic spirit, an unclean spirit, when we see one. Hey, we got that. Okay? So, here's the thing with that. It's a waste of time. Even, I'm hearing again, casting out your pearl upon the swine. Because these are the kind of people that you really cannot give your attention to. And again, as I've already indicated, the very fact they're going through extremes, doing it in an abnormal way. Because here's the thing, what's wrong with coming up to a person like a normal person and acting like a normal person, instead of doing all these monkey tricks to get attention? Well, here's why that happens. Because their intentions are not right. Their intentions are not pure. And the very fact that they're doing all these circus tricks tells you just that. Your spirit is able to discern just that. Not just that. Well, yeah, still that. But you know it. After you've been through so many of these, I want to say experiences, but I heard spirits. You know what you know. So the other part to that, and it's just coming to me right now, is when you ignore them and you don't give in to their, I'm hearing demands, which is pay me some attention, it can escalate. Now let me share you all a story. Share a story with you all. There is a young man who works at a place that I am at on a regular basis for business purposes. It's a place that I do business with. And so I'm there a lot. And so this young man, his job involves is taking care of some of the things within this facility, kind of like, I would say maintenance, but his job is a service job where he services certain different things within a facility. And I'm very cordial with him. We speak. He's come and taken care of some things for me that I needed taken care of. And I see him around, doing other things because he's working. That's where he works. And so, like I said, we were cordial, we would speak, but that's pretty much as far as it went. Hello, 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 hello. That's pretty much all we do. We had the little conversation that we have had always was surrounded around whenever I had to reach out to him to come and do some service work for me. And so anyhow, he started behaving in this crazy manner where it was very obvious he was trying to get my attention on another level. But it was very weird to me because, initially I'm like, okay, he's trying to engage me in that way. As if, the way I saw it was like you trying to get me to pursue you. Like I said, he wanted me to take it to another level, which I would never do because I don't pursue men. I'm a woman, and I'm not finna pursue a man like they're a woman. And usually, not usually, that's what that is. When a man wants you to pursue them, they want you to treat them as a woman. They want you to be the man and then treat them as the woman. And then, and as I just said that, it just hit me like, see how twisted that could be? Because let's just say you work too. Then they'll want to be the man in a relationship. But that don't work because you started it off wanting me to be the man. But that's a whole other thing. But here's my point. It blew me. And like I said, I noticed it. I'm not going there. So, I'm just steadily going about my business, still doing whatever business that needs to be done as needed where he's concerned, seeing him in passing, saying hello, speaking. That's that. His behavior started getting more and more erratic, crazy. And it tripped me out. Again, I'm aware, I'm seeing it. He would come in areas where I'm at, or where, in the area where I am, and start doing all kind of stuff to make all this noise. And it was just weird. So I'm noticing it, but I ain't saying nothing. I'm not going to address it. I'm not going to ask, are you doing or something? And in some of them instances, I was aware that that's what he wanted me to do. I don't do that because when you do that, I've learned a long time ago. When you ask a person a question about that kind of stuff, when they're doing these things on purpose to get a certain response from you, and you bring it to them or you ask them, they just gone, oh, no. And so I listen, waste of time, let him do what he do. Well, I wasn't even tripping on him. I was just noticing. And then I'm thinking to myself, you need to chill, be careful, because I know how that ends, and it doesn't end good for people when they keep going. Anyhow, maybe about, I'll say, a month ago, seen him one day, and he barely, would even look my way, and he looked so stressed. And that was that. I ain't pressed the issue to speak. I just speak when it's, when we obviously seeing each other. But it has been a few occasions where he would kind of look the other way and try to avoid me. And so I was aware. God was making me aware. I was discerning that he was getting his butt kicked. And like I said, this one particular day, he looked so stressed. And God said to me, I cause things to go crazy in his life because he keep messing with you. Because it's inappropriate, kingdom people, for people to behave this way. And God gives them warning. He tells them to stop. But again, that pride, the Leviathan spirit, they don't want to give it up because they want what they want. They pride, they want what they want. And then they have this thing where they don't want to feel defeated. They don't want to feel like they didn't get what they want out of you. And, it's an ego thing. Again, power, control, want to be able to say they got you, want to be able to, all that craziness. So anyhow, that was that. It had been a couple of more instances, since then, where we were able to, hello, he got back on, hello. And so that was that. initially I actually thought he was a cool guy, you know, because he was about his business. It seemed like he was, you know, he worked. And you know how you see people, they work and they handle their business. You can tell they about their business when they work or whatever. And that was that. So I just thought he was a cool worker. You know, he was a cool person, just in the, you know, sense of where I, you know, had where I had to be around him, where I seen him, where we had a common ground. And so that was that. So, Kingdom people, the other day, I seen this person, and it actually was not at the place where he works and where I go to for business purposes, but it was at the store in that area. I was going in, he was coming out. I noticed him, but I also was shocked when I seen him, and he spoke, I spoke. He didn't actually speak. He just nodded. You know how you nod your head like, sup. Well, not quite like that, but you know, acknowledging my presence. And I said, you know, nodded and said hello. But I was shocked at what I seen, Kingdom people, because he looked like a ghost. He looked drained. He looked like he didn't have no life in him. And his hair, like, you know how when in them cartoons, I want to say Tom and Jerry, I don't know if that was Tom and Jerry, but I know I've seen this in cartoons before. I can't remember where. You know, when they get, like, if you get electrocuted and your hair go stick up, that's how his hair was. And his hair normally is not like that. And so again, he looked pale. He looked drained, like he had no life in him. And so it tripped me out. You know, I'm going about my business, but it's on me. And that's not how he normally looks. Now, of course, God started showing me that that's because he keep messing with you. And then God went on to tell me that he keeps trying to pull life out of you, because that's what that is, trying to get my attention, trying to get my energy. And then God took me to, well, let me say this part first. He used, sometimes in the place where I do my business and where he works, sometimes he has his son there. I've seen him, you know, his son with him, a little boy, maybe about between the ages of them between 4 and 6 years old, something like that. So, you know, he always would have, not always, but I've seen him with him quite a few times. So this one particular day, few days or so prior to when I seen him at the store the other day, he had the little boy and the little girl. Now the little girl looked like she could have been maybe 1 or 2 years old. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, just to myself. And that's that. And I looked at her and I'm thinking like, oh, she's so cute. So I love little girls. Not that I don't love little boys, but I just love little girls. So anyhow, that was that. So when I seen him at this store, he looked like a ghost. And I keep hearing vampire. And God did bring that to me also. But I'm going to get to that. God brought all that back to my attention. His children. And I guess whoever the children's mother is. I don't know if he's with her or whatever the case may be. But what God told me is they are draining the life out of him. Just like he's trying to pour from me, they draining the life out of him. And God showed me he set it up, got it like that, because he needs to leave me alone. And then he kind of gave me, he reap in what he's sowing. You can't be trying to pull the life out of somebody else, because in essence, that's what that is when you're trying to get attention from somebody, when you're attention seeking because of what you see on them and what you feel you lack. You're trying to pull their life. You're trying to pull, you know, their energy. You're trying to pull, and in our case, our glory. But the glory of God, should I say, that's on us, because it ain't our glory. It's his glory. But God was just showing me this, and he started giving me, he's a vampire. I mean, basically, that's what he's become now. I don't know what he was before this, because like I said, he didn't always look this way. But now he's become a vampire because he's trying to pull life from me. And I don't know if he was being operating like that, but the other part to that is they pulling the life out of him. And he going through was like really, After that, he came. I don't know if he followed me, but he ended up in the next place that I was at. And he was riding around. He kind of pulled up and then he reeled around. And I'm looking because I'm thinking that's him because I know his car. And I'm not looking hard, but I'm noticing the car and I'm being made aware that's him. But he was just like playing around in his car, keep riding past because I had parked, but I hadn't gotten out of my car yet. And I'm just sitting there for a minute because it's like, first of all, I'm like, did you follow me here? But more so, I'm just noticing all the circus tricks again. And I'm thinking to myself, you already look like you drained. But then God said, that's why he is going through extremes. He don't have no life in him. The life has been sucked out of him. He know you got life. So anyway, kingdom people, they want your attention so bad. Because, listen, they want your life. And going back to John 5:44 and 1 Thessalonians 2:6, it says, how can you believe when you receive glory from one another and you do not seek the glory that is from the one and only God? They're supposed to be seeking it from God. I say this all the time. You're supposed to be going to God, not trying to pull from other people. And it says here, how can you believe? So he's talking to his own people that are trying to seek glory from other people, that are trying to seek energy pull from other people. If you believe, you go to God. Now, this young man may not be a believer. I'm pretty sure he isn't, but praying for him. And so 1 Thessalonians 2:6, nor did we seek glory from men, either from you or from others. We're not supposed to seek that from others. We're not. Now, if we're in another's company, in good company, because at this point we know to stay away from bad company, people that ain't own nothing, people that ain't growing, evolving, maturing in Christ, elevating, and then they got all these unclean spirits and they draining. That's what we've come to learn. We had to move around them because they ain't right for us, and they can drain you because that's what they're literally doing, pulling from you, because you're the one with the glory. Which is why them ones you walked away from, they want your attention so bad for that very reason. They're drained. They don't have no life unless they going to God for that glory, unless they going to God and seeking him out, unless they believe in and going to God like they're supposed to be. Anyhow, Kingdom People, God reminded me too, when all this was going on, about a situation a few years ago somewhere I used to live, and the neighbors used to harass me on the wall, on the steps, because we shared steps. And they used to be on them steps clowning. They would act like it was their children, which it was them sometimes, but it was the grown folks too. And it was a husband and a wife and two children. And one of the older child and a younger child, boys. And so the men, when I first moved to this place, I didn't stay there long because they ran me out of there. I couldn't do it. But when I first seen the man, he looked nice, clean cut. When I'm not saying in a way nice like I was checking him out, but he looked decent. So over time, after a while, I happened to see him. And he looked horrible. He looked greasy. I seen him a few times. Every time he looked worse. He looked real greasy. I don't even know how to explain it, but kind of grimy. It was just weird. He didn't look right. It was like I don't even know I'm hearing Godzilla, and I'm thinking of what Godzilla looked like. But when I say Godzilla, kind of like that, but the way his skin. Godzilla don't have skin. I don't know what you call it, but it was like bubbly. His skin was bubbly and real greasy. He just looked horrible. Look how I'm looking. And it tripped me out. Every time I would see him, I seen him a few times, and he, like I said, it got worse and worse. And it was wigging me out, and God was showing me that's because they over there messing with you. But at the same time, he was thinking all kind of tripped out thoughts where I was concerned in a sexual manner. And in a perverted manner. in a controlling kind of one, because he wanted to control me, him and his wife. They was over there into it because first she was with him trying to get with me. They was trying to bring me in with them together. It was just weird. I don't even want to go back to that. But the point is, whatever thoughts and stuff he had going on in his mind was affecting him in a way. And what he was trying to do where I was concerned, even using the kids, using his wife, he looked horrible. And I'm just mentioning that to say how that can tear you up, you know, when you're mishandling God's people. And I'm sure God gave them warning, and they won't do it. And then this person was a Mason, and you know, that's a demonic thing all by itself. That's a whole, I ain't going into it, but all that stuff is demonic, okay? So you already got that, them unclean spirits from that, and God knows what else. And now you adding on with all this, what you're trying to do with me, him, should I say. And listen, Kingdom people, what I'm getting to, they want your attention so bad because of what they see on you. They want that. They want to overpower that. They want to take that from you. They want it for themselves, you know. And like I said, sometimes there's a perversion involved, you know, sexual perversion and all that. Sometimes that is involved as well. But it destroys them if they don't stop, you know. And as they go through this, and this is happening to them, it makes them want your attention more. Because now they got all this going on. They up in an uproar, and they see you good. They see you not, listen, you ain't being affected. And if you are, not like that. Not where you looking like them. Because God edifies you because you hooked up to him. You hooked up to the source. So you might go through some things. You might have to walk through this mess, but you're good. And God's glory is still on you. And for that reason, people, Kingdom people, that's why they want your attention so bad. They just ain't got it. You got it. And they don't. They're going about things all the wrong way. They need to be going after God and his glory. But instead, Kingdom people, they want your attention so bad. And that is all I have to say about that. So if you like this video and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Listen, Kingdom people, many of you are watching the videos, but you are not liking the videos. And the more you like, the more the messages go out into the algorithm and people can see the videos. And so I would really appreciate it if you just can click that like button if these messages are helpful to you, or if you feel like these messages can be helpful to someone else. If you care, share. So Kingdom people, please just go ahead and click on that like button. I appreciate that. Make sure you also click on that subscribe button if you have not already done so. Thank you. Also, click on that bell so that you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Kingdom people, if there's any information you need to know about me, you can find all that right down below in the description box, along with other helpful resources. So Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for all your likes. And for those of you who are not liking, as I already said, please go ahead and like and push these messages out. Thank you for your subscribes. Thank you for your comments, your feedback. Thank you for all your financial contributions to my channel, and for all the seeds that you sow into me and my ministry, for all your bookings, and for all of your purchases. Kingdom people, thank you. Now, Kingdom people, you all know I love you all so very much. I really don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my Kingdom people down. Now, Kingdom people, above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, we are unmovable, we are unstoppable, we are untouchable, and we are unbreakable. Kingdom people, go and be great.